Going on the show, I knew I was going to be a very polarizing character because I'm a person of color, I'm queer, and I'm very loud, vibrant, bodacious, beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, hot, stunning, talented, hilarious, humble.
My name is Blue, like the color.
You were on Big Brother, which is this huge summer reality show.
These are my keys. Made it official that I was going on Big Brother. They made me look hella old. I look like I don't wear sunscreen.
Like buccal fat removal.
I'm gonna turn Melissa into my week 4 eviction night look.
I learned your parents didn't hear about your coming out story, but they heard about it on the show.
I was making these PR boxes. My mom was helping me, and while she was helping me, just all of a sudden she goes, "So you gay?" And I was like, oh my God, it gagged me still. I'm trying to break out from the Big Brother realm, right? Because a lot of people can get stuck.
Or they use that as their only fuel for their career.
I was like, girl, Big Brother was not my main event. It was a side quest, if anything. This is my week 4 eviction dress, and this is what I'm gonna be putting on Melissa today. Let me get my first reaction. Woo!
I'm legitimately sitting next to a real life Bratz doll.
Yay!
Blue Kim.
Wait, I love that intro.
Welcome, Blue, to Happy Hour.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
So you were on the latest season of Big Brother, which is this huge summer reality show, reality TV show. It's a competitive reality TV show where you're pitted against a lot of contestants, and you basically live in this house for a very long time, and you have to play a lot of games, and then you have to vote people out or all of that.
Yeah.
That's the premise. And you were a fan favorite because you came in with very iconic looks, and maybe perhaps you are the best dressed contestant in the history of Big Brother. But prior to this show, you were a brand strategist in New York.
Yes.
But now you're here in LA, a full-time creator. You're focusing on makeup, skincare, and fashion.
Yes, I am.
And you recently dyed your hair red. So this is the whole... This is the debut. Yeah. This is me seeing it first in person.
And it's vibrant as fuck.
Yeah, and you did it yourself.
With a little bit of help. But yes, I did it myself.
Mainly yourself. So actually, a little fun fact, Blue and I went to the same college
We
together.
did. We have some mutuals.
We do, but we never saw each other.
No,
though.
never.
Yeah, but I remember my trailer with Angelica Song came out. Everyone listened to that episode. Angelica Song, full-time YouTube corporate girl, and then full-time content creator. Bought a house last year at 24. What a hook. What a hook.
Don't know how she does it.
Don't know.
I barely could do this full-time, girl.
But anyway, I saw that like you liked that post, and I was like, I know Blue from Big Brother. I know that like we went to the same college. And so I messaged you, and I was like, do you want to get matcha? And so we got matcha at Swa, which is an Asian grocer.
So good. Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. And then we yip-yapped away for a very long time.
And it was great.
It was fun. It was very fun. It was very fun. And also I learned that, so everyone's like, oh my gosh, is Blue your real name? It is. It is. But I learned that you were almost named Alexandria. Was that true?
Yes. So basically, when my parents immigrated to the States, they were like, okay, we need some American names, right? And so they're like brainstorming a little bit. And at the time, my dad went by Alexander. He goes by Maxwell now, which is a whole nother thing. I know, like, what is he? But he went by Alexander at first. So then when they were like brainstorming, they wanted to potentially name me Alexandria or like Alexandra or like something along those lines, which is kind of funny because like people are like, oh, actually I could see that. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, what do you mean you could see that? Anyway, they were kind of like brainstorming a little bit, and my dad's super creative, right? He's like kind of like off the walls kind of person. So he was like, I don't really know. So then they were brainstorming a little bit, and they reached out to my aunt.
Yeah.
His half sister, my dad's half sister, and my dad's half side of the family, they lived in New Jersey. That's where I was born. They lived in New Jersey for a really long time already. So they're like acclimated. They speak English pretty well. So then my dad, who was just immigrating over to New Jersey, was like, what should we name our daughter? Like, I don't really know a lot of English names. And my aunt, super simple, was just like, girl, you kind of like the beach. So why don't you just name her Blue? Mm-hmm. And my dad, being the artist that he is, he's like, no, you just said something. Like, that's it. So then that's how I was named Blue. And it's really funny because a lot of people, especially like when I was on dating profiles, they were like, oh my God, what's the story? What's the lore behind Blue? And I was like, girl, my aunt just said it. Like, it's like really not that crazy of a story. But my sister, who's named Hillary, she was supposed to be named Ashley. Like she has like a crazier story and whatever. And then the way that, you know, my creative dad merged our names together is that my Korean name, my middle name is Pada, which is beach in Korean, which is why I go by Blue Beach Kim. And then my sister's middle name is Mukyeol. Not me giving away our full government story. Not me giving away our full government name, but
yeah, her social security number.
Yeah, my
you
social
ask
security
her, she
is
could just give it to you.
But my sister's middle name is Mukyeol, which means wave. So I'm the beach and
Oh,
she's the wave. Yeah,
that
so
is so cute.
yeah, so not only do I have like a pretty unique English name, my sister and I both have really unique Korean names as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very watery.
Very watery,
Very watery
which is kind of funny because we're both fire signs. So we're not like watery at all, but like I kind of see the vision.
Oh, so if you're both fire signs, did you fight a lot growing up?
Yes, we fought so much growing up. And I know she's listening in the background being like, I know we did. But like we fought so much growing up. And then
It builds
I think
character.
It does. And I think like once I left for college is when we started getting a lot closer.
That's the thing. I think
Yeah.
when I went to college as well, you just start to realize what's more important, what you value, in a relationship with a sister. I have an so you're the older sister, but I'm the younger sister. And my dad named both of us starting with M. And so
What's her name?
Martina, which I feel like she got the cooler name because
Well, she's older. Let her have it.
so my dad calls us the M&M sisters.
That's so
And so I have a little
cute.
charm on my bag where it's like a little M&M charm.
Oh, that's
and
so
my
cute.
AirPod case is like the red M&M.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very on brand. But my dad named my sister after one of his favorite tennis players, Martina Hingis. And he's a big tennis person. And then he named me, I think, like after a coworker he really respected. And I'm like, okay, tennis player who was like number one, and then like a coworker. But you know what?
Funny.
I'm easy to get along, essentially.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay, perfect. So which part of California did you grow up in?
Oh my God, I grew up everywhere. So I moved around a lot. I think the longest
for your dad's work or for parents? I don't know.
I don't even really know. Like I to this day I don't really know why we moved that much because my dad works remotely. So like what? I really don't know.
Wait, that's like the dream of what every 20-something-year-old wants. They just want to keep moving while they work remotely.
I guess.
But it probably was pretty unstable for you as a
It was
kid.
unstable for me, but like I think it also built character in the way that's like I'm so extroverted. So like no matter where you threw me, I was like good.
Yeah.
I was like always kind of good. But like I think the longest place that I've stayed was probably like 5 or 6 years. But I moved everywhere from like I think originally. Oh yeah. So originally when we moved to SoCal, we landed in Anaheim. Like Garden Grove area.
Yes.
Typical.
Also a lot of Koreans.
A lot of Koreans, yeah. So we lived around there. I think the apartment building is actually still there, which is funny. But lived around there for a little bit, and then we moved to the IE. So we went from OC to deep IE. Like I'm talking like we lived in Hesperia, which is like damn near.
Never heard of that.
Girl, me neither. So it's like really, it's like on the way to Vegas. Okay, so you know when you're driving to Vegas and you're and then you like look around and be like, who the fuck lives here? I live there. I live there. Like Barron. I lived there for like maybe 6 months. And then we honestly just bopped around a lot of places in like the high desert Inland Empire area. So we bopped around and then ultimately we ended up in Riverside, which is where like, I went to like high school. Like that's kind of where like I lived the longest. And then after high school, I went to college back in OC. So I lived there. And then from there, my parents split. So then my dad moved to Anaheim for a little bit where my mom stayed in IE for my sister so she could finish school. And then a few years later, when my sister graduated, my dad moved to Korea and my mom actually moved to Barstow, which is back high desert for her job until COVID. Then she moved to Anaheim. So we just honestly moved a bunch of places. And like, that's my parents. But like for me, I moved to like, I lived in San Francisco for a little bit because I was doing an internship. So I lived there for a little. My sister and I moved to Korea for a little bit during COVID because why the hell not? Then I moved to New York, LA, a bunch of places. So I'm just kind of like a nomad. I signed a 2-year lease so I could like,
This is probably major then.
yeah. I was like, oh my God, I like actually like set something for 2 years. Cause I think I moved like, dude, I swear, I think I moved like 10 times in the last like 7 years or something like that. Like
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. But we just moved around a bunch. So I'm just from everywhere. I did have this conversation with my sister after the show ended where I was like, I'm really glad that I grew up in SoCal, that I went to school in SoCal, that I have experiences in LA being in the entertainment industry, because I feel like I was a lot more prepared and geared up for what was to come, as in like social media, marketing, branding myself, like all this. Also, granted, my major and my brand strategist background. But I think a lot of it too is like being in that environment with a lot of those people, entertainment, etc., really helped me gear up. Whereas some other people after the show was like frantic and like didn't really know what to do or like didn't really know how to act, and all that stuff. So I'm really glad for the experiences in the background that I had before I even got into the show.
Yeah, that's true. Because I remember when we first had our little matcha date, I didn't know that when contestants are on the show, you had to give your account access to someone else, because I thought it would just be you guys posting updates on your end. But yeah, I guess I didn't make the connection that you don't have access to your phone. But then I just thought for most reality TV shows, like maybe they'll give you a window of time to like phone time. Okay, I'll upload something. But no, you had to give access for all of your social media to someone else. And in doing so, you had to delegate work on like what had to be posted. You had to come up with a content calendar. And I feel like your major really came in handy, and your brand strategy really came in handy for you. It
really came in handy. And it's actually really cool too, because like the people that I left my account to were already chronically online. Like they were already chronically online. So even if I didn't come up with some kind of strategy or like told them what to do, they would have already taken care of it, because my sister is a video editor. And she's a photographer. So she already has an idea of like what looks good. She can make small clips and like do little like recaps and whatever that went viral, because it was just well produced. And then my other friends who are also like they call themselves Blue's Little Rats. But like everyone's just so chronically online, and even if that's not their major, like they just already took care of it. And like I could open my little strategy, but like
I did see it. It was like pages and pages of information.
Cause I was like, this is my tone of voice, this is my brand world. I want people to like if you need copies of like how I talk, like look at this and this example. It's really, really funny. And actually like it really did pay off. And a lot of things also kind of just came naturally. Like I just happened to take a lot of photos in the outfits that I was wearing in the house that my team could then post online. So people were like, how is she doing this? Like, how is she wearing that outfit? And then she just happens to have a photo. Like, that's insane. To the point where like some article actually wrote about how great my social media team is doing at marketing myself.
Like my team.
My team.
Like
shout out my little rats. But they did such an amazing job, and honestly, like I can't thank them enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will have to talk about your looks, because you have a box of mementos from Big Brother that you'd like to share, and I'd like for us to go over them, just to show the audience what we have here. Is it right next to it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now it's this segment of Blue Beach Kim's big box of Big Brother mementos.
Say that 5 times fast. Okay, let me show y'all.
Oh my gosh, exciting!
I'm gonna save the best for last, but there's a lot of stuff. And I mean like a lot of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Put this down.
Okay.
Let's see what we got in here. Ooh, I don't want to hit.
All right, I can hold the mic to your in your direction too.
First things first, this is actually like something that I didn't even get to like participate in, but they made it just in case like I got through. But this is a little paddle of me before I had my hair done.
You can definitely hang this up.
I think I'm gonna sell this actually, because like this this honestly is annoying to see. It's like this is like what could have been. Like this is the competition right before I dropped.
Tan in this paddle.
They also made me look super old. Like they really emphasized the wrinkles that I do not have.
Definitely got like what is that called? Like buccal fat removal.
That is so funny. But yeah, I mean they even got down to like my double nose rings, my earrings. Like they made me slim thick, which is nice, and they got me some booties, which is really cute.
And you have a cat tail.
I do have a cat tail, because my whole thing on the show, like a really popular catchphrase was kitty kitty purr.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little kitty that purrs. So I'd be kind of saying that a lot. So they made me into a cat. Another thing is that we have our little cast photo. And it's autographed by everyone. I know. Everyone is so hot, so pretty. There I am. Little girl with the bangs. Oh, damn, I look so different. Oh, this is so cute. I also haven't seen this in a while. I actually left it at my mom's house because I was like, girl, I'm a little traumatized, but it's okay. Oh my God. Okay, girl.
This looked like something intense was happening.
Yes. So this came from a challenge called Superhero Training Academy. I feel like I'm just making shit up right now. Like I'm like literally just saying random words to you and you just like have to accept it. But we dressed up as superheroes and then this was like an endurance competition, which I was really good at. So for this competition, there was a rope with a little like standing pad and it spun around and you just had to hang. Like that's all you had to do.
Okay.
But it's really hard because it's not like a stable standing pad.
Oh, but you did pole dancing.
But I did pole dancing, exactly. So I was like pretty good at this. So people like dropped off like... Oh, also, this was a veto competition, which essentially means like, you know, 2 people got nominated and the veto competition. Oh, wait, was it a veto? I think so. I don't really remember anymore. But
it's all a blur.
It's all a blur. But this basically saves you or like gives you an opportunity to change the nomination. So this week, I was actually on the block. So, and I was the target. So they wanted me out. So this was like my flight or fight, do or die moment where like if I don't win this, I am going home.
Yeah.
So I stuck on for dear life. People were dropping like flies in and out. And me and the person that put me on the block, which I didn't know at the time, but the person that put me on the block, it was just me and him. And we stayed on for 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. 2.5 hours. And mind you, while this is spinning, there's like a punching bag that's like hitting us that would like then make us spin.
Damn.
And there's like goo and gop and everything like being sprayed on us. So that was intense. So I stayed on for 2.5 hours and eventually I just had to drop. I just had to drop. I couldn't do it anymore. It was like making me sick because I was spinning around so much.
Yeah.
I almost vomited actually. So like I dropped and like I was just like super defeated. And this was actually a veto that had 2 parts because generally it's only one competition, but this one had 2 parts. So the second part was that the winner had to hang on to just one bar, had to hang on, and we all had to guess how long he was gonna stay on. So whoever's the closest then wins the second veto. And then this is where this came in. So this was Superhero Training Academy. And before he even went on the stage, we had to just write whatever number. People guessed 10 minutes. People guessed 30 seconds. I guessed 105.69 because I was like thinking about it.
She was doing the math.
Dude, I was doing the math because I was like knowing Jag, I know he could definitely go over a minute. I don't think he could do 2 minutes, but I think he could come pretty close. So I was like, I'm gonna guess like 60 plus 45 and I got 105 and as a joke I put 0.69 and I only missed it by 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh, so you were the closest.
I was the closest. So this week I was able to save myself and I was actually the only female veto holder this entire season.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is pretty iconic to me. These are my keys that made it official that I was going on Big Brother. It said, welcome to Big Brother. This is what they give you during the intro video where they're like, you're going on Big Brother. Like, this is the key to the house.
Wow.
So I got these. That's pretty iconic. And then last but not least, probably the most iconic thing that I have.
Okay.
This BB comic of me. But that's what I'm saying. They made me look hella old. Like, girl, I look like I don't wear sunscreen, and trust me, I do. But this is my kitty kitty purr BB comic. Again, it's just something that I said a lot in the house, and they made me have a little body though, like body snatch. But it says she slays crime, boots down, which are also other sayings that I have because I'm also chronically online. But yeah, this was definitely like one of the most iconic challenges that there are. And I'm really glad that I got to have this now.
Yeah. Everyone, give it up for Blue's show and tell.
Yay!
What I learned on how you got on the show is that it came from a BuzzFeed video. Another B word. It came from a BuzzFeed video. So you were cast in one of their series.
Yes.
And then you were discovered?
Yes. So it was actually pretty crazy because when I moved to New York, I know how lonely the city can be. And so I really wanted to start new. You know, I just broke up with my boyfriend of like 4 or 5 years at that point. And I was like, I want to find a community because I was kind of going through it when I lived in LA. I was kind of going through it like personally too. So when I moved to New York, like this was going to be my moment. This is the moment where, you know, like I start new, fresh. Yeah. I never really made a big move like that. Like even though I lived in San Francisco and Korea, like that was all really short term. So when I moved to New York, I was like, I want to find community. So my first like few months of living in New York, I just said yes to everything. I said yes to everything, went everywhere, met people, and also just generally the type of person that I am. I'm like, oh, do you guys want to hang out? And like, I don't mean like, oh yeah, we'll hang out. But like if I say that, I actually want to hang out, and like I will make plans and I will bother you until that happens. But my roommate, who was also one of my social media teams, my roommate, she got 2 TikToks. One TikTok was a casting for a fashion brand. Love that. That's actually how I got to walk New York Fashion Week within being there for a month. And then a few weeks after that, she got another casting TikTok from the director of the BuzzFeed show. And he was like, we're looking for people to be on this series. Like, if you know anyone, let me know. So she sent it to me. I shot him a little DM. We got coffee. So I was on Korean Girl Picks Day based on their tteokbokki, which is like a really funny like concept. So essentially, without knowing who the guys are, I pick a date based on their dish. And it was like a really fun concept, but I did that video. Didn't think much was gonna come out of it, but like it was a really fun opportunity still. Like I even had like a watch party for it. Like like all my friends came over, we watched it. Like it was like a big deal for me at the time because like it's not like I had an opportunity to do something like that every day. So I had a little watch party, we watched it, it was so fun. And when I was now like months later, I was actually at a work event. So I used to work brand strategy for a lot of alcohol events. So I was at this like tequila event and I got a random DM. And I got a comment on one of my photos being like, hey, I just sent you a DM, like check it out. I was like, okay. So me at this work event, mind you, paint this, I was wearing like a white blouse with like pink pants, so I was looking really professional, okay? I'm like looking at my phone, I'm like scrolling, and I do see this DM, and I'm reading it, and I was like, hey girl, like I'm a producer at CBS, and I'm casting for a show called Big Brother. We would love to have you on. Just like respond back, let's set up an interview, like we just want to talk. And I was like, what the fuck is this scam? Like that's what I thought first. I was like, what the hell? So I ignored it for like an hour or so, and then like my brain just kept going back to it. It's like, okay, but what if? Okay, but like what if? So then I was like, okay. So then I DM'd them back and I was like, oh hey, like would love to chat. Like why not, you know? Like even if it's a scam, I'll probably figure out it's a scam within the call. So I was like, let's chat. And he was like, okay, can you call in the next hour? And I was at a work event. I was like, sure. So then I was like, hey manager, I'm gonna dip out. And she's like, okay, no worries. Cause like there was only like 30 minutes left of the event anyway. So I rushed back home and I was not about to do this interview in my work outfit.
So it was a video call. So it was not just a phone call.
Yeah, cause they were based in LA and I was in New York at the time. So the call was only supposed to be 15 minutes. It was supposed to be like a quick little vibe check to make sure that like, I am who I am and whatever. I changed because again, I was not about to do this call in my professional outfit. So I went from, I need to show you. I went from super professional to mega cunty in like 3 seconds. Like I literally went from like button up blouse with like office pink pants to like the smallest little crop top and like the smallest little skirt you could ever think of. Like the under boob was under boobing. And I was like, this is appropriate. So I hop on this call. And again, what was supposed to be 15 minutes, we talked for 2 hours. 2 hours. Because we were just kikiing. That's all we were doing. Like literally it was like I hopped on the call 8 my time, so it was 5 their time. And we talked and he was like, I'm supposed to be off the clock, but I'm having so much fun. Like let's keep talking. I was like, okay. So we just chatted up. And then he was like, do you know what Big Brother is? And at that point I didn't know what Big Brother was, but I kind of had an idea because like I saw it every once in a while. So like initially, I thought it was a queer dating show. I did not know it was like a survival / competition show like that. I literally thought it was a queer dating show. I was like, okay, I'll do it. Because it's so funny because like even prior to this event, I was creating my 2023 bingo card. So like things that I wanted to happen for 2023.
You do that every year?
I did it for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did that for 2 years. And for my 2023 bingo card, it was unfinished. I only filled out like maybe 6 things, but one of it was get on a reality TV show.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think I manifested that. But I always thought I was going to be on a dating show because I just naturally, I'm very flirty. I'm very like talkative. I like can like shoot the shit a little bit. So I always thought I was going to be on a dating show. So when Big Brother hit me up, I was like, oh, this is a queer dating show. Like, this is perfect. And then I quickly realized it is not a queer dating show. It could be, never happened, but I was like, okay, this is a lot different than what I thought it was. But yeah, I had a little call. It went great. And then he was like, I don't really even do this often because like they were in their last stretch of interviewing. So they've been interviewing people since like January and this was April, like end of April. And they're like closing soon. So they were like, okay, we're closing soon, but I like you so much that like I never do this. I'm just going to push you to the end. And I was like, oh, period.
Okay.
So I like missed out on like 2 additional calls that I had to do, and I went straight to one of the casting producers, and he was like, don't even worry about it. Like, you're doing a great job. I was like, girl, I'm not worried because I don't even really know what I'm getting myself into. Yeah. And then the next person that I was talking to was the one that found me. So I was like, oh, I'm not even nervous because obviously he found me from the BuzzFeed video. So why do I need to like be stressed, you know? So had that call. It went really great. And I went quick. Like my interviews was like in the span of like 2 weeks. Like it was really, really quick. And they were literally just like, dude, be yourself. Like we like you so much. Just be yourself. And I was like, okay. So I was definitely like a personality hire.
Yeah. I mean, I think it comes to your advantage that you didn't know the show at all because I think a lot of people want to go on the show because they're such big fans. Yeah. And so in doing so, it might even negatively impact their chances of being casted because they think there's like a textbook way to get on, where it is fact, if you're just yourself,
no, truly.
That's like the biggest way, I guess, to get you in.
No, I agree. And when people always ask me like, oh, like what are your big tips and tricks? I was like, dude, just be yourself.
Yeah, it's like, such a annoying thing to say, but that really is true.
It's so true because I'm just like, dude, I got in just by vibes, you know? Like that's it. So like honestly, just be yourself, and like if it doesn't work out, try again next year. Like just keep trying because you never know. Like there's some people who tried twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, and then they finally got in. Like it really just depends. And also don't take that shit personally, you know what I mean? Like it's not on you. Like they just have an agenda, they have an idea, they have a story. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's kind of like the mentality that I had, which I think, like to your point, helped me because I was like, what do I have to lose? I didn't even know the show really existed like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I was just like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to have fun. And that's how I got in.
So essentially, being on Big Brother, you have to be in a house for 100 days. And that's what you did.
The time depends. So our season was the longest season.
Like an ever. Wow. And I also learned from you that it's extremely cold in there.
It is because there's like 96 cameras, 113 mics. So they don't want the equipment to overheat. So it's a fucking meat locker in there. It's so cold. I brought all these like mini skirts, and I will say they did tell us that it's gonna be cold, but I was like, whatever, like how cold can it be? It got cold. I was always like in little sweats. I was like, damn, I should have like packed warmer things, but
Well, let's talk about your fashion because that's something that you really want to also bring into your budding career.
Yes.
And when we first met, you're just like, I'm not like a coquette girl, you know? It's like you have a very specific style that you're trying to show online. And so did you maybe start to experiment more on the show, or what was or did your fashion... Have you always been experimenting with fashion even before the show?
I would say I've always been experimenting with fashion, to be honest. Like something that I said in my interview and something that I say kind of on my day-to-day life is that I'm a professional shapeshifter. Like I go through different looks, styles, aesthetics, vibes every single day. I've always just been really passionate about like mix matching clothes, thrifting, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. I've been really embracing more of my masculine side of fashion recently, which is kind of where I'm experimenting now. I'm also experimenting with a lot of jewelry and accessory because that's something that I've never really been that good at. You're always learning learning, you're always growing, especially in fashion. So just like, you know, realizing that there's always inspiration to be taken. So just like kind of growing and experimenting, I think that's something that I'm always gonna do until
Okay, speaking of fashion,
yes.
Why don't you have like some outfits that you want to show us from the show?
I do.
There's one iconic outfit.
There is one iconic, but I'm gonna put you in it. So I'm gonna yes, I'm gonna do your makeup, and then you could keep like asking me some questions. I'll do like a quick little version because you already have your base done, right?
Yeah.
I'm basically gonna turn you. Okay, if you know, you know. But I'm gonna turn Melissa into my week 4 eviction night look. So this was the very first time that I sat on the block, literally in this situation where I sat in the nomination chair.
Yeah.
The person that I was sitting next to was the target, but I was just the pawn. And this is the first time that like I was nominated 4 times, and this is the very first night. So this is like I kind of dressed up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the Diana Spencer revenge dress.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. And it's only from Amazon, like please. But this was like a really iconic look during my season for me. But yeah, I'm gonna transform you into that look.
Okay, yeah, so Blue already has her makeup cart behind us.
Yay.
Oh my god, so I already have my base done. I have concealer on.
Yes.
And obviously sunscreen.
Obviously,
Very important.
sunscreen, very important. And ignore the fact that I'm using a James Charles makeup because this
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's see.
Okay. God,
I haven't done someone's makeup in such a long time.
You know, I haven't had someone do makeup for me.
Ever?
I think the last time was like high school theater. It's like my classmates who did makeup.
Oh my
Like,
god.
but mostly for the plays and shows that I just did it myself.
Wait.
Not that I was good. Like,
I'm honored.
oh my gosh, my hair is so grown out.
No, it's okay. Here, I have some
Okay.
little makeup clips.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, if you wanna
Okay,
pin
wait.
your hair back a
I'm gonna
little
look so silly. Wait, can you pin it for me?
Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh, this is girlhood.
This is girlhood. Oh, I love being a girl.
Literally.
For this little exact reason. Oh, you look so cute. I love this.
I think it's so interesting that API month and Pride month are together in conjunction.
Oh yeah, because I went from Slasian American to Gaysian American just within a day.
Okay, I learned that your parents didn't hear about your coming out story, but they heard about it on the show.
Yeah, they did not. Let me clip this back. They did not know.
I'll hold your mic.
Yeah, go for it. They did not know. And, you know, my parents and I, my family and I are pretty close, but at the same time, Asian parents don't be like words of affirmation people whatsoever. Close your eyes, please.
Okay.
You have such long lashes.
But they're so straight, and so no one notices
Oh yeah,
them.
me too.
I need a lash lift, honestly.
Oh, you just need a really good mascara, like an Asian brand mascara.
Yeah.
I got you some Rex. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, my parents did not know, nor did I really feel like I needed to tell them. And you know, there's something like very beautiful and rewarding about like, you know, coming out to your parents. It's like a weight lifted off your shoulder. Mm-hmm. For me, I did not give a fuck. I did not care if they knew or not. Actually, I did care if they knew because I was like, I just don't want to have that conversation. Like, it's going to be so awkward.
Yeah.
But in no way, shape, or form did I feel like I was like being fake to myself, or I wasn't, you know, like living my true life. Like for me personally, just because I didn't come out to my parents, like I had such a good support group of friends and people that I chose for myself that like, I was like, I don't really need to come out to my parents. Like that wasn't like a big deal to me. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I never really did. Until the show. And then, you know, like I haven't actually watched the show. I actually watched the first episode for the first time like a few days ago on my TikTok live. But I like never watched the show. So like I don't really know what they aired, what they didn't air, and also because of the fact that it's live, I don't know what my parents have seen. I don't know what they haven't seen. My dad doesn't really give a fuck. My mom doesn't really give a fuck either, which is really great because at least they're not like super strict or anything like that. Oopsies.
Well, maybe I should take a before.
Oh, you
right,
should.
Right.
Yeah, take it before. All I did was add concealer anyway.
Okay, perfect.
One time I was making PR boxes because I launched merch, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I launched merch, I was making these PR boxes to send to people, and then my mom was like helping me. Close your eyes. My mom was helping me, and while she was helping me, just all of a sudden she goes, "So you gay?" And I was like, oh my God, it gagged me silly. I said, like, it gagged me. I was just like, oh my God. Inside, I was screaming, crying, laughing.
Your mom is a very blunt person?
She's so blunt. Like this one time in Korea, Korean people just tend to be really blunt. But
yeah, in a lot of Korean culture, it's like there's a lot of matriarchs in the family.
Yes, exactly. Tend to be really, really blunt, right? Like this one time, my mom was checking out at the grocery store in Korea, and it was like 2 free lanes. There was like an older woman and like a younger woman. She like looks at the older woman and was like, "I don't think you could carry my groceries." So she went to the younger woman. I was like, "Girl, you did not have to say that. Like, your intrusive thoughts, stay intrusive in your thoughts. Like, do not say them out loud sometimes. Like, please." But anyway, so she goes, "So you gay?" And I said, "LOL." I was just like, I was like, yeah. And then she starts bombarding me with questions. And like the thing is like I'm really grateful that she like is curious and wants to know. But like I just like it just caught me off. Like it just caught me by surprise. And I just like didn't really know how to act. And like again, my parents and I don't really have like a communicative kind of relationship. So I was just like like gay panic. I was just like panicking so hard. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't really know. I was like, and then she's like, "But why?" And like, you know, her still being like a pretty traditional Korean mom, she just had like a lot of questions and like she wanted to know, but like it kind of, you know, comes off a little incorrect, you know?
Yeah.
So she was asking me a lot of questions about like, you know, I always knew you were a little masculine. And I was like, well, that's not it actually. I just happen to also like women too. Like it's not really a big thing. And then she was like, "Okay, do you think you'd ever have like a girlfriend?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Like that's kind of what being gay means." And she's like, "Okay, but like why?" And I was like, "What do you mean why? I never questioned why you like men. Like why are you questioning if I like women?" And like my thing is like my patience, and I don't know if this is just me, but like my patience with my parents especially runs really thin. Like I am a very patient person, but when it comes to my parents, I don't know what it is, but my patience runs thin. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna evacuate the dance floor. So I kind of just like left the premise, and I was just like, okay, like that was something. And I was like, you know what? My sister's always been a lot better at like communicating with my parents and having that relationship. I just haven't. So I was like, okay, Hillary, like that's a you conversation to be had. And then my mom like brought it up to her too. She's like, "So Blue's gay?" And like my sister's a lot more patient, a lot more communicative. So she like kind of sat her down, like talked through it a little bit more. But yeah, I was just like, oh, thank God that you did this and not me, because I was not about to have that awkward ass conversation. But yeah, being on the show definitely outed me, which is actually hilarious now to think about it. But I'm not like mad at it or anything. I'm like, at least you know now.
Okay, I remember what we talked about when we first met is that the effect that the show has on you, and then something that I remember you kind of concluded is that coming out of the show, I was like, I need to like, I had to pause. I'm like, what's going on? Something about the show that you said is that it made you more anxious coming out.
It did. Yeah, it did. So, you know, you're stuck in the simulation for my situation. I was in the house for 86 days, but overall I was gone for 100 days plus, because not only do you have the show itself, but you have like a 2-week quarantine, right? So I was gone from civilization, from society. I had no phone, no laptop, no bitches, no money. What do I have? Like I literally had nothing for a while. So coming back out, you know, like for me, world stopped. But for everyone else, like it was day-to-day life, you know? Like one of the first things that I did coming back was go to a farmer's market, and it was just so overwhelming. Like I was just like looking at everything. People were like like going about their days, and also the only thing I talked about for 100 days was the game, was strategy, was the manipulation, the backstab, the whatever. So like I was like, how do I have normal conversations? Like how do you do? Like oh hello. Like what do I even talk about? Like I don't even know. And like, it's so funny because, you know, when I came back, a lot of people wanted to know about me. But the thing is that like, you had access to me for 100 days, you know? I want to know about you. But like when I talk to people, they're like, oh yeah, nothing much. I was like, no, give me the details. What did you dress up as Halloween? Like, what did you do during Christmas? Like, I want to know everything. Well, actually, I was out by then. But I was like, I just want to know, like, what happened, you know? And, like, everyone just kept saying, like, oh, I don't know. Like, nothing much. And I was like, no, tell me the details. Like, I missed out on so much, it felt like. But, yeah, it, like, definitely made me more anxious. I've been a lot better now because I feel like at this point, it kind of just feels like a fever dream that I did the show. Until I watch back some clips and I'm just like, oh, my God, I did the show. But now I'm a lot better. But actually, like, during Valentine's Day, and I got out November 9th, right? So at this point, it's been like 2 to 3 months that I've been out. But during like a Valentine's Day week, me and my boyfriend, we went to Disneyland. And this is like the first time in a really long time where I did something like that. Like, I feel like when I walk around LA, from time to time, I'll get people who recognize me. But also, there's so many influencers, so many celebrities, so many people that live in LA that I don't get
like
stopped.
You're just one person.
I'm just one person,
many.
exactly. But if I went to like Ohio and I started walking around, especially with like how vibrant I am, people are gonna clock me more, right? But because I'm in LA, I don't really get that often. But I went to Disney, and Disney is kind of like middle America within one area, you know, like so many people from different places like tour and visit Disney. So I actually had a lot of, and it didn't help that like for Valentine's Day, like as a kind of a gag gift, I got my boyfriend like a 90s style shirt that had like my face all over and had like my name. So like I think that's also it. But also I have like very vibrant hair, like I'm like kind of hard to miss, and I have like all my tattoos that are really like prominent too. So walking around Disney was really stressful because a lot of people like started coming out to me, like saying hi and whatever. And I love when people say hi. So like, don't take this as like Blue does not like when you talk to her, but like just come say hi, like whatever. But there's some people, and I get this a lot, where like they'll like look and they're like,
yeah. It's the silence that kills you.
It's the silence that I'm just like, okay, what are you thinking? Like, come say hi. Like, I don't know. And like that could be for a variety of reasons, right? Like it could be like they just don't want to bother you. Like I get that a lot. It's like, oh, I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you. And I was like, oh, bother me. Like I love it. Like when we have like an actual interaction. But like a lot of people were like yelling at me. They're like, Blue Cam! And I was like, oh my God. But like at that point, I got really anxious and I kind of like needed a moment to like breathe. And it was just like really interesting. And like what actually helped me was I met up with another group of friends who just happened to be at Disney at the same time. And like being around people that like knew me before the show, that love me, that like, you know, kind of know who I am, like outside of like being in this like weird simulation where I had to like act a certain way and like be a certain way because you're playing the game. You have to like, you know, be a little strategic and stuff like that. That really helped me. But like now, like after experiencing that, I don't get as anxious anymore about like being outside and like being recognized and stuff like that. Cause also like even though like people online, close your eyes, people online love to like say shit, whatever, like they're never gonna say shit to you IRL. Like in person, like people are never. And like it's really funny because I've had a few, keep your eyes closed, I've had a few interactions with people where I'm like, oh, you definitely did not like me. But then they'll basically just like ask me. One time I was at Wingstop and then this one girl who already saw that I got my order and I was like about to go. And she's like, do I know you from somewhere? And I was like, I don't know. I never confirm it. I just go, I don't know. And then she goes, oh, you're on Big Brother. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh. And I go, okay. And we just like blinked at each other for a little bit and then I just left. And I was like, yeah, you did not like me on the show. But it's fine because like you're not going to say shit to me IRL, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like a really interesting dynamic. It's like people have so much to say like online, but then they're never going to say anything to you.
Yeah.
You know, going on the show, I knew I was going to be a very polarizing character because I'm a person of color, I'm queer, and I'm very loud, vibrant, bodacious, beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, hot, stunning, talented, hilarious, humble,
That's the most important one.
Most importantly. But yeah, I always knew that I was going to be a very polarizing character, especially because how the show is set is like it's set for middle America. It's set for white people. It's set for people, you know. And like, granted, there's a lot of different characters that watch Big Brother. I've had a spew of people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, I loved you on the show. Or like, I've seen the show, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you've seen the show? Like, you're a fan? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, I did not expect that. But, you know, most of the show tends to be middle America kind of people. So I was like, yeah, I definitely know I'm going to be a very polarizing person.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a very interesting, unique cast for Big Brother because like if you see on the dating shows, it's like, there's definitely a specific type that goes on, but here it's like there's people, like you said, in, you know, I don't know, Ohio, or just like very truly different walks of life. Also because it's not a dating show, that I think the opportunities of cast members open up.
Yes, exactly. Because like the charm about Big Brother is that you really get a big group of like different people and see how they react to being in the simulation. Like you have people from New York, you have people from Tennessee, you have people from like a bunch of different walks of life, which I think is like the beautiful part too, is it kind of like mimics like real life in a way. Open your eyes.
A misconception that people have about you is that you're just loud.
Yeah, which honestly,
is true,
not a misconception. It's very true. I am a very loud person.
But a lot of people view that as a negative. And I think I definitely got that a lot. I'm also very extroverted too. And I remember when I transferred to my high school, and I had 2 years left in high school, I definitely tried to overcompensate my insecurity of not knowing that many people and only having 2 years left by just overcompensating for my behavior. And so I definitely had some people, even in middle school, who didn't like me because I was just so loud. But also I'd rather be loud than be a dick, you know?
Oh yeah, period. No, truly. And for me too is like another reason why I figured people were not gonna like me on the show, or like people either love me or hate me, is because I'm super confident. And like a lot of that comes from like growing up with so many identity crises, where like I grew up in predominantly white areas all my life, that like I was really scared to be myself, or like I wanted to fit in more than anything in the world. And like now, like kind of coming out of my shell, owning my style, being really like understanding who I am as a person, I have become so loud. So what is it? Like undeniably myself, not undeniably. Unapologetically myself, you know, because like for a really long time actually, like I wanted to condense myself and I wanted to like offer this watered down version of me because I was nervous to be perceived, because I was nervous to be judged. And like after some time, like when I realized that like, you know, being Asian is really cool, being queer is really cool, being myself is really cool, that's when I was just like, I don't know, like something clicked in my brain where I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just do me, you know? And like it worked out for me so well. Like I've gotten so many opportunities and so many friendships and relationships because I was myself.
Yeah, when you came out of the show, I know that a lot of media outlets, a lot of podcasts really wanted to reach out to you. And you said that you pretty much rejected all of them because I know that a lot of them, they just want to get the inside scoop.
Exactly. All they want to do is get a little soundbite. All they want to do. And I was like, my thing is like, you are not going to profit and monetize off of my experience, my hardships, my story before I do, or before someone that I actually care about do. And you're actually the only person that I've ever said yes to a podcast. And like to this day, I still get a lot of requests being like, can you please come on and like, can we talk about it? I was like, no, because you do not have my best interest in mind. And like, granted, like, you know, like prior to this, you and I have only met once. And I was just like, I want to talk to someone who, you know, like really cares about the hAAPI community, who really cares about the queer community, who really cares about me. And I was just like, and also like, I'm trying to break out from the Big Brother realm, right? Because a lot of people can get stuck.
Or they use that as their only
personality fucking trait.
Yeah, fuel for their career.
I was like, girl, I did not win $750,000. So I'm going to have to make $750,000 elsewhere. What, like it's hard? Like I'm going to have to like branch out and reach out because Big Brother was not my main event. It was a side quest, if anything.
Oh, I love that.
Right. It was a side quest, if anything. So I'm not going to dwell on this one thing. I'm obviously going to honor it. I'm going to reminisce about it. I'm going to love it because that is where I got my start, right? That's where I got a lot of people to like me. That is where I got a lot of people to like fuck with me, to ride for me, to argue on Twitter for me. Mwah, I love y'all. But it's not my end all be all.
So yeah, we're talking about your career after the side quest. How's it going, life as a creator?
It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's
mentally draining, physically draining, emotionally super draining. And you know, like prior to being on the show, I was like kind of making content, but like nothing crazy. But like I was making a lot of like Korea-based content before I left, and like those actually popped off. Like every video I made about Korea popped off, and it did really well. So I was like, oh, like this could be something. But like I don't know how Angelica does it because like truly like going from a 9 to 5 to then making content is exhausting. Just doing content is exhausting. So I commend you because I cannot do that. It was really difficult because, you know, I've always had someone telling me what to do. I've always had a manager to like go to be like, okay, what's the agenda for today? Like, what am I doing? But I didn't have that anymore, you know? Like I was my own boss. So I think something that I was like, it was the hardest part for me was the discipline aspect of it because I was like, I'm not really that disciplined to be honest. And like now I can't blame anyone other than myself. I can be like, oh my God, my manager sucks or my job sucks. Like I could only blame myself, right? And I'm very hard on myself. Like I'm very critical of myself. I'm very hard on myself because I know that I have a lot of potential. And I know I have a lot of like, I know my future is very promising and bright, but like at the same time, it's just like, oh my God, I'm putting so much pressure on myself. Honestly, like content creation has its up and down. It is very unstable, but like right now I'm kind of on the up and I feel like I've really been establishing my voice, my brand, just like hammering it in more and more as I like keep experimenting and like keep like practicing. Cause again, this is all really new to me, but like I feel like especially coming out of the show, compared to a lot of people, I'm doing the best, like realistically outside of this show. Because I had a goal for myself. I knew how to get there. I understood my audience. I understand my niche. I understand what my voice is and who I am, that I'm doing a lot better in that terms. And it's actually really funny because a lot of people who are prevalent Big Brother players would talk shit about me while I was in the show. Which is fine. Like, I don't really care because, like, at the end of the day, they're just basing off also what they're seeing. But, like, when I meet them in person, they're great, you know? Like, you know, all said is done. But, like, it's really funny because, like, you know, a lot of people had a lot of things to say. And then now they see that I'm doing really well outside of the show. And now they're asking me for tips. Now they're asking me, like, how do you get these brands to notice you? How do you do X, Y, Z? How did
just
you do
be nice,
you know?
I
was just like, girl, I know you were just on Twitter, like, running your mouth about me or, like, on whatever. I was like, no, now you want my help? Like, now you want to, like, come to me? But again, like, I don't really take any of that, like, personally because, like, you know, people have to make their ways about, like, commentary and stuff like that.
Do you hold grudges?
I do not. I really could not give a fuck, to be honest. Like, if I did, I would not. Like, my best friend from the show is the one that blindsided me and is the one that, like, backstabbed me, and he's the reason that I got out. No, I need to reglue this. But like, he's also like my best friend outside of the show too. Like I hang out with him all the time. He's been wanting to hang out with me for a while. And I'm like, I'm busy. Get away from me. Yeah, like I do not hold grudges. Like I cannot give a fuck. And also like, we're all trying to make it, you know? Like we're all trying to like navigate what life is after the show, and like if I could help out in any way, I'm still gonna help out.
Yeah,
like,
and you are in survival mode in the show.
Exactly.
So it's not the most accurate depiction of who you are and your potential.
No, 100%. There's still a bunch of people I don't fuck with because just like in general, like I don't fuck with you, I'm not gonna help you. I'm like there's some things that like, okay, you just like went too far, or like generally like I know as a person, I want to like you anyway. So like there's some people like that, but for the most part, like, you know, if you treat me with kindness outside of the show after you said whatever, and you know, like it is what it is, yeah, then I'm gonna help you out as much as I can.
Oh my gosh, this is blush?
This is blush. I'm a big blush girly, as you can tell. So I'm gonna put some. I am done with your eyes. I'm gonna put some on your nose.
Oh, I love putting stuff on my nose.
Yeah, you have the cutest little nose ever.
I hate being under the sun, but it's like, but I want to look sunburned.
Sun-kissed, exactly. No, I get that. Especially because like you're from somewhere so sunny.
Yeah, I'm actually going back home to Taipei like next Sunday.
Oh wow.
So hear me out. I'm willing to shell out a very expensive round trip ticket just to see my gynecologist back home.
Wait, you're so real for that?
It's because I don't trust any of the doctors in America.
No, fair enough. No, that's so real. It's scary out here.
Yeah, being a PCOS sister is tough out here.
Yeah, I bet.
I just want to get some health stuff out of the way before I start my new job, which is July 1st. That's remote. Wow. And then I leave July 21st. It's probably going to happen on the 13th on a Saturday. It actually falls on the same weekend of my birthday, actually.
Wow. It'll be your last like little birthday hoorah here.
Yeah. And actually my parents will be coming on the 18th. This is how involved they are. Also, I think it's like the thing with the international kid experience is that if your kid is graduating in a different country, they're like, oh no, we'll come and see you graduate.
Yeah.
they've never missed a single parent-teacher conference.
Aww.
And they're like, and I'm so happy and I'm proud, not even ashamed to say that I'll be 25 and they're still going to help me move in. And I should be grateful that they still want to do that for me.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the thing about my parents too and my relationship with my parents is, like I said, we're not really communicative, right? We're not words of affirmation people. I've never really been a words of affirmation person. However, we are acts of service people till we die.
Yeah.
You know, like I think like the Korean thing is that like your mom will never say sorry to you, but she'll bring a plate of fruit. My parents are also like probably my like warriors, you know? Like they've been so supportive. My dad was, you know, getting all these like VPNs and whatever to try to watch Big Brother from Korea, like all this stuff.
What does your elusive dad do? Like, what? He's such a character.
He is such a character. Okay, so my dad is an entrepreneur. He's a CEO. He's ran like multiple businesses like back in the day. He literally does everything from like pharmaceutical to like selling random shit to like whatever. Now he's in Korea. He owns a farm. He owns an Airbnb and he makes face soap. It's actually the face soap that I use, so I love him. But he's like, he's
a prairie girl.
Dude, he is a prairie girl. He's living his best cottagecore life. But like, it's so funny because like my dad lived so many like lives, and it's like really interesting because when he moved to the States, he actually had a printing company, and he made not to like make light of the situation whatsoever, but he made a lot of money due to 9/11 happening because his shop was printing a lot of American flags. So like it was like really interesting because he's an artist that turned into like a printer, and then now he has like a farm. Like it like really jumps the spectrum.
Wow, you can always start something at any time.
No, truly, and that's something that like I learned from him. And again, like I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to have like very supportive family, and the fact that my dad has a very creative background, he's always led us to pursue whatever we wanted. It wasn't always like be a doctor, be a lawyer. Like it was never that. It was always do what you want. And I'm very, very fortunate for my parents to always allow us to explore and experiment. And again, like they really are my biggest supporters in that sense too, because like they are not scared of me venturing out and doing whatever I want to do. Even if I fail, they're like, at least you did it. You know, at least you tried it. We're proud of you for that.
Only lessons, no failures.
Exactly. Oh, I love that quote. Okay, close your eyes.
Oh my gosh, is this almost done?
It is almost done. So all I need to do is get the outfit for you.
Oh my God.
And then you turn it into me. Okay, actually, let me pull out I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh God. Oh, okay, I'll turn around. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm closing.
If y'all know, you know, this is my week 4 eviction dress. Iconic. And this is what I'm going to be putting on Melissa today.
From Amazon.
From Amazon. Use my Amazon store link. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I don't really care. Okay, turn around.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be blue, but it's red.
Always red. So I'm going to be putting this on you today. So this is how I wore it. There's 2 straps, right?
Yes.
This one is purposely longer.
I didn't shave my armpits.
Okay.
I'll be like this.
It's okay. So instead of wearing it like this, I crossed this one over my head. So it looks striped. So it's a little asymmetrical.
Yes.
So that's how I wear it.
Okay. I'll be back.
All right. Well, while I'm here and while I have y'all, I will. Don't worry. I'm a professional yapper. While I'm here, I got questions to ask y'all. Okay. This is a question that. Okay. I'll tell y'all my 2 favorite icebreakers. One's a little bit of thought. Okay. So I want you to really think about it and then come back to the comment section and then let me know because I will be reading. But the first question, super easy. It's fuck, marry, kill, bread, rice, pasta. Love this question because I feel like it really tells me who you are. But when I say bread, rice, pasta, I mean like bread means like tortillas too, okay? And I mean pizza, because that's bread, that's dough, all right? But pasta, I mean noodles too, Asian girlies. So I know like some Asian people are like, oh, kill pasta. It's like, I thought about this. Noodles count. Here's where I stand. I'm a kill bread, all right? I'm a kill bread. I love pastries. I love a good cafe moment. Don't get me wrong, but I love my noodles. Also, like, if you really think about it, like, fucking noodles, kind of a weird topic, but like, I don't know. I see the vision. I'm a Mary Rice. She holds you down. She's so good. She's beautiful, amazing, wifey material. She's marriage. Noodles are slutty, all right? Noodles are so slutty. They go with any sauce. Oh, man, so good. All right, so that's my question. Chime down in the comments below. And then my second question is a really fun one. But if you were a Mortal Kombat character, what would your fatality move be? And obviously, since I'm the one asking you the question, I have put a lot of thought and effort into this. I would have big boots, obviously. I love boots. It's kind of my personality trait. I have boots tattooed on me, if you could see that right here. But I would have boots that have retractable blades underneath, all right? Follow me here. I'm going to stand for this one. All right. So, oh. Your camera died. All right. So we're back. Camera died. But as I was saying, I would preferably be in front of an alpha male or one that thinks he is an alpha male. And I would lift my leg up, because I'm very flexible, lift my leg up, and as I drop down in the splits, the retractable blade will cut them in half, and they'll go boom, boom, boom. Fatality. And that, my friends, would be my fatality move. It's very Bayonetta-esque, I think, but I have put a lot of thought into it. And I love hearing people's answers to these questions because it just kind of explains to me who you are, especially the Mortal Kombat one, because like you kind of have to think about it. And I love seeing where people's brain go. Like I remember one time like somebody was like, I'm gonna clap my ass like thunder and blow you away. And I was like, that's amazing. That's actually beautiful. That's actually poetic, honestly. So I love that for them. But let me know what y'all think. Very curious. Melissa is getting ready. She is almost done. And I'm really excited because she typically dresses a little more on the tomboy-esque side. So I'm very excited to see her in this red dress. What's that Joe Jonas song or Jonas Brothers song? Red dress. I don't know. I love that song though, clearly. I think you did. Let's see it. Let me get my first reaction. Wow! Beautiful! You did put the straps on right.
I look like a stop sign.
It's giving stop sign realness. It's giving bloody tampon. I feel like I'm taking my child to prom. Yes. Okay. It's giving sparkle super slay. Okay. Yay!
I think we have been chatting for so long. And when I was in the bathroom, you kept talking. I was like, okay, good. Blue, it was a pleasure.
Melissa, it was a pleasure.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I should have worn this for Chinese New Year.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
I'm like a red envelope.
Period. See? Good luck and prosperity.
Okay. Well, after over 2 hours, we have come. Oh, well, yeah, we're hitting almost 2 hours on the interview.
That's crazy.
Blue, well, thank you so much for coming on Happy Hour and
thank you for having
putting
me.
in so much work on this.
It was light work.
Oh my gosh.
I was working with a beautiful canvas already.
That's right. Well, I'm so excited for this episode to come out, and I'm very excited to see where you go.
Thank you so much. Happy Pride, everyone. Melissa, I love you so much. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
I see across the room, X marked on the spot. Everybody tryna zoom. This is casual, another night with the wolves, but I should be dealing with them. She's a damn professional. Making plays for, don't need to be told. Yeah, she knows. Got these fellas down bad and everybody else mad. Adrenaline rush, leaving them in the dust. Now they converting the stands. The world is in her hands now. She's living in my head, rent free. Burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now. Finna stay woke, no sleep. Run it back real slow, is that a wink? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes.